is going to be showcasing your club in a virtual event. So it's going to be, I think, pretty interesting. We've got several clubs across the country, across Western Canada, that are going to be talking for a few minutes each about what they specifically did with their either volunteer night, meet and greet, or whatever to raise the awareness in their club. And between those, we have 3 clubs, and between those 3 clubs, we had some significant growth in membership, which proves that you can do a virtual event and you can acquire great new members from it. So please stay tuned for that. What we're going to do for the next half an hour is, the district has talked a lot about, and certainly through the work that Bob and some of his other past governors in working to encourage clubs to do meet and greets, virtual open houses, whatever you might want to call it. So the question has come up, well, you know, some clubs, well, how do you do it? Like, we're just trying to get used to Zoom, and we're trying to figure out how do we do all this. So what we thought is we would invite several clubs to this session so they could take a few minutes each to talk a little bit about what they sort of did leading up to and including their open house, their virtual open house, just to give some folks an idea of what they can do. And then afterwards, we'll have some time that we can do a little roundtable discussion. So Ken, I see you on there. I don't know if you're there right now or not. I don't see your video screen, and you're muted, so I'm not sure.
I'm here. I'm just wondering if I should find out what happened to our.
Oh, to your 2 guys. Yes. Yeah, you could do that. You want to take a minute to do that?
Yeah, and keep going. They may not. Something may have come up. They're both practicing dentists, and sometimes they get called in on the weekend. So
okay, no worries.
They may not be able to join us.
So on that note, what I will do first off is maybe what I'll introduce Ron. Ron Goslin is the president of one of the newest clubs in Division 7 here in Alberta. And did you want me to run your little the 2-minute video that you have first there, Ron? And
yeah, just let me just do a couple of sentences before, and then we can do it.
Go right ahead.
And I'll talk afterwards about, you know, some of the keys of success, that sort of stuff, kind of thing. Okay. So the video that you're about to see is just at 2 minutes and something in length. And that's kind of basically the way in which we try to pique interest with potential folks to come to a meeting, to become a member or whatever. That video is sitting on our Facebook page, whatever kind of thing. And so we use that, as a matter of fact, as part of asking people if they would come to a virtual meeting to basically learn more about Kiwanis. So if you want to go ahead, Dennis, can you show it?
Okay.
Can I just
yes,
pause for a second? And welcome, and Steve. Thanks for making it this morning, guys.
Welcome,
and they'll be the panelists from Westfort. Thank you.
Okay, I will run that video now.
The Kiwanis Club of Cochrane is a volunteer service club, part of the global Kiwanis International community. The club offers volunteer opportunities for Cochranites of all ages and abilities who share our commitment to service and strengthening our community. Our signature project is the Kiwanis Christmas Toy Project. In conjunction with local social agencies, we invite families in need to a Christmas party. Pictures with Santa. Face painting and balloon animals are just some of the festivities. Guests are nominated from local social agencies for families in need. The children get to choose their own toy at Walmart. Treats and grab bags round out the party. So many amazing smiles. The Toy Project also puts a smile on our many members and volunteers. We know this has an impact and makes a difference in the lives of our guests. Thank you, Walmart, and our many donors. Along with the local community-minded individual, we've started a recycled bike program, since every kid should have a bike. And Initial distributions have been coordinated with the Boys and Girls Club in Cochrane. We were busy during the COVID-19 pandemic. Members are always looking and thinking of ways to support the community and service initiatives. A lot has been planned for the balance of this year and into the next. You can make a difference in our community, helping kids, and in the process enhance your social networks, make new friends, and have some fun along the way. We'd love to have you involved. Please contact us at kiwanis.cochrane@gmail.com or via Facebook at Kiwanis Cochrane for more information.
Bear with me for a moment.
Something we did probably something like six or 8 months ago. There's been a lot of development since. In terms of our session itself, I think the real key to success was for us to leverage the expertise of the district membership task force. I mean, Dirk Bannister was very good at helping us in terms of putting together the process of basically, prospecting for people, getting in contact with people, and just basically bringing them into the meeting. Okay, and of course, the other key to success is getting buy-in from your members about all this training that they're getting, to basically making sure that they make the calls, they basically get to their network of people that they know to get them to come in, kind of a thing. The other thing is, the meeting itself, we spent about something like, I would say, not more than 15 minutes on the Kiwanis big picture, in terms of the big organization and what Kiwanis is and what Kiwanis is not. The rest of the meeting, 25 minutes was really about what we're doing here in Cochrane, because the people that you invite to the meeting are really interested about what's going on into your own community and what you're doing for your own community. One of the most powerful thing we had was to basically have testimonials from our own member as to what this meant for them in terms of what this, what their participation in Kiwanis meant and what kind of impact they had. All right. Of course, the part of the issue after that is to basically do the close. Yeah, you get a lot of people that are interested in whatever kind of thing. So you need to have somebody, either an individual or a group of individuals, that are tasked about basically contacting the people that are guests at the meeting and basically confirm their interest and get them to sign up. Just for results itself of our own meeting, we had 5 guests at the meeting. Guess what? We signed the 5 guests. So it was 100% success. Now for us, it meant a whole hell of a lot because we're a very small club. We started 3 years ago with the basic 15 members. And when we talk about the 15 members, we had about something like 5 members from Cochrane, really. And the rest of the members were people from other Calgary area clubs, basically, that help us out to get us started. Now, of course, those folks are now left, with the exception of one person that remains with us, which is Dirk Bannister. But we're back up to 13 members. So there you go. Our 5-year plan is to basically for us to get to 20 to 25 members within 5 years. So we're more than half there, and we're 2 years and a half or so in our existence. As I said in the previous section, we intend to do another online meeting sometime in June, associated with basically our trade show. We're going to participate into a trade show locally here, and there's something like 3,000 people that go through the trade show during the weekend, And we're going to try to basically, do a bit of a splash there and get some people interested, and run another meeting sometime in June to see if maybe we can get to 20 this year. Who knows? That's our story.
Good. Thank you very much, Ron. Ken, what were you thinking? Do we want to see if there's a question or two, or did you want to maybe see if you wanted to get your folks from Westfort to highlight a little bit about their?
Well, maybe if we got everybody to highlight the program, we could have a roundtable discussion at the end.
Good. I'll let you introduce your fellows from Westfort then.
Well, it's a pleasure to be introducing two of the members from the Westfort Club in Thunder Bay. Thank you, Sean and Steve, for coming to talk to us about our membership event, and it really contrasted with the live event that we had. But if Sean and Steve, if you wouldn't mind just walking us through and telling us what worked, the guest speaker component, and just sort of give an overall feel for how we managed to continue to reach out using a Zoom platform instead of a physical meeting.
Yeah, thank you, Ken. Appreciate the invite to be here, and apologies for the late entry. We're actually in the other session, just trying to figure out where the right room was. So even young guys have trouble with technology sometimes. Yeah, thanks for having us. And just generally, I think there actually was a lot of parallels to the previous speaker and how they ran their event. And as Ken said, we were trying to develop in this new world to go from a live event in person, handshaking and all that kind of thing, to more the online platform. We've been using Zoom for our regular meetings, and we were trying to really adapt things to the Zoom platform. I think just generally what we found is, with a little creativity and a little tweaking, you were able to kind of really do a similar type of agenda and similar type of program. Just trying to do that on the Zoom platform and coordinate speakers and things like that and give everyone attention was maybe a little bit of a challenge. But some of the things that I think we might highlight, just sort of how we went about the event and what things we found were helpful. So we had a nice introduction from our president, Geraldine Ross, just a welcome to all the members. We had the benefit, actually, using the Zoom platform, of having a more external speaker. We had invited the Western Canada Governor, Roland, to do a little bit of a speech and welcome the members as well. I think that provided a little bit of connection to the club as a whole, and more nationally, and also generating a little bit of legitimacy and credibility for us, which was helpful. As well, we did go over the Kiwanis background, some of the history. I think we felt that, maybe people were more interested in the local initiatives and what they would be seeing more locally as well. So we didn't give that too much time. Just giving a brief overview, kind of the background of how the club is connected and where things go and where they come from, to try and give the members a sort of a top-down picture of things. We then moved into our more local initiatives. We had just described the day-to-day type meetings and some of the things that we're involved with, some of the activities that we do, the fundraisers, the events. Showing some pictures similar to that very nice video, kind of helping people see what exactly they might be getting into if they were to join the club. As well, you had a little bit of a session. It was actually with Governor-elect Ken Allen here. Just gave a little bit of an overview of our SLP program for our student leadership program that is actually just kind of getting off the ground. Just showing some of the external reach that we have with the club, and where we're trying to make some new developments and start to recruit some new younger members. That's actually going quite well. So just showing people that this is an interconnected and expansive little organization that we have here. And then we kind of move forward with a few other things that I think my colleague Sean will just highlight here for you.
Yeah, to highlight some of the community and local initiatives that we're involved with, we actually had another guest speaker from Our Kids Count, which is a local organization that we support a lot. And I think it was very effective to have somebody other than us telling the new members or potential members how effective our fundraising efforts are and our support for these organizations is for their organization as well as the community as a whole. We followed that with the introduction of our guests and the potential members. One of our secret weapons, so to speak, just like Ronald was saying, was testimonials from our current members, which we found very effective through a lot of feedback. We sort of did it in a roundtable style where all of the existing members were able to share their experience, what sparked their interest in the Kiwanis Club and why they joined. And we felt that was a very good way to have potential members, potentially connect with an existing member and find some common ground with somebody who's already in the club. With that, we were also able to highlight a lot of the committees as various members were involved in those committees, and some of them were chairs, and actually Member Ken and Lieutenant Governor Dino were actually involved at a higher level of the club, so we were able to highlight that as well. And then to follow that with our close, we were able to discuss some upcoming events, so to keep everything nice and fresh and allow people to get involved right away while we still had their interest. We had a local fundraiser that they were able to get involved with as much as they felt they wanted to. So it wasn't a huge commitment. If they didn't want it to be, they could just come out and support selling our Christmas trees, or that gave them a foot in the door to get involved at a higher level if they liked. And I think something to highlight with the Zoom platform is it's much easier to invite guest speakers, because it's nothing to Zoom in from your own home rather than make the commute down to the location that we'd be holding our in-person event. So that's one positive of the Zoom thing. And then we had some closing remarks as well and an invitation to join. And a big thing for us too is the try before you buy, that I'm not sure what it was officially called, but that the waiving of the fees for the membership that was approved by the Western Canada.
Yeah, I think so.
That was a good way to get people in and let them get involved without actually making that financial commitment right away. That's pretty well our story.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
So just following with that, what I will do is introduce Bob. He's going to talk for a few minutes on some stuff on the Cochrane side, or not Cochrane, Okotoks. And we in Okotoks, as I'm a member of the secretary of the Okotoks Club, we're very fortunate to have past Governor Bob as one of our members. He's been very influential in the first few years of getting the club off the ground. He was instrumental in our virtual meet and greet that we held. So I'm going to turn things over to Bob for the next few minutes. Mr. Bob.
Thanks, Dennis. I think it's rather than restate what the guys from Westfort said and what Ron Gosselin said / Dirk Bannister, the specifics of the Okotoks meet and greet was, give or take, identical to the other two clubs. So I'm going to go at it from a slightly different point of view and take a look for everybody as to how I see what's going on in Western Canada as it relates to virtual membership. At the same time, give or take, as the Westfort guys were developing their plan, the past governors, or a committee from the past governors across Western Canada District, were also developing a similar virtual plan. And a few months later, the Cochrane Club decided to do their own plan. And all these plans are working. I'm saying that we might be able to steal a little bit from each other from time to time and make the plans even better, especially if we see good results. So I'm going to now talk about good results. Right? In Okotoks, when we were preparing the lists, which I find to be the most difficult part of the process, we were able to get about 75% participation of our give or take 12 members in preparing their lists. The committee then itself prepared the intensive lists, businesses, leaders from organizations that we have benefited, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? The big thing we did is we developed 2 or 3 new documents that caused us to invite all of our prospects, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And each of those 3 times was with a different message. The last one was the key, where we announced the best guest speaker in the world to talk, a gal that has got awards all over Canada, if not North America, talking about volunteerism, right? So 12 or so guests showed up to date, because this is only a couple of weeks ago. 4 of them have joined, including 2 corporate memberships where you got more than 1 person showing up at meetings, that being one of them being the Royal Bank of Canada. And we now have done something completely different. We have formed, for those 4 new members and a recent member of our club, that being Lenny, who's only been there for about a year now, we have formed a new projects committee that our new members go on right away to learn about Kiwanis and to take a look at not our existing projects, the board can do that, but to take a look at new possible projects, because they are now new members and they want something new to do, as opposed to also being involved in our existing projects. I'm going to leave it there because at give or take 11:40, Dirk and I, he with the back end, me with the front end of a Zoom meeting, or a Zoom plan, if you will, are going to get into the specifics. And I'll just throw this teaser out there for you, right? The one thing that we're going to deal with, or I'm going to deal with, is getting the members out of their darn comfort zones and stop them from prejudging friends and business associates to take a look at Kiwanis. So maybe I'll see you there, and that's it from me for now.
Thanks, Bob.
Welcome.
So Bob, is this going to be on the same track or on the other track?
Yes. Yeah.
So we've got a few minutes here. We've got 5-10 minutes anyway, if we want to have a little bit of discussion from some of the other members that are on. If any are planning a virtual meet and greet coming up in the next few months, questions on some of the clubs and how they handled theirs.
Just going to add a few things, in terms of lessons learned. One of the things that Bob just mentioned, which is to get the members out of their comfort zones, to basically being able to recruit things. The reality is that the guests that we had at our meeting were only brought by 2 of our members. So we've got work to do on that particular issue, kind of a thing. So that's probably the biggest learning that we had out of our event.
Thanks, Ron.
Here's the other teaser, folks, right? If you do come in, I'm going to give you my story as it relates to inviting your friends and business associates, unless they are an axe murderer or a proven axe murderer.
Barry, you had a question.
Yeah, I just want to make a comment. Medicine Hat has been sort of stuck in its membership. We started last April or so. We started to run our meetings. We switched from every weekly meetings to every other weeks by Zoom, and we got stuck in that process of doing the same thing. The first thing we did was get members to talk about how they were feeling, how they were doing, and those were the early parts of meetings. We then moved later on into finding speakers, and we noticed what other clubs were doing. We brought in speakers, and a couple of weeks ago we brought in the new police chief of Medicine Hat, who actually is the former executive administrative officer for the police service in Calgary, but he grew up in Medicine Hat. And we brought Mike in, and he did a great presentation. We were in the middle of talking about mental health in some of our other sessions, and we asked him to join. And last week we officially put him on the records. We'll do the induction
Very good.
in a couple of weeks when we can meet together. But we asked, and he's in his early 50s and such, but fits in with our demographics very well. And all the clubs said, "Gee, we can do this again." I think that what happens is we forget, and we get to a point where, gee, we can't do anything. We're COVID stymied. We're stuck in our homes. We can get new members and we can increase them quite easily if we ask the question.
Agreed. I know that certainly Bob would offer up himself, but I'll offer up his services. If anybody on here is looking to do a meet and greet virtually or hopefully otherwise, as perhaps the restrictions lift, certainly reach out to your lieutenant governor, and certainly they or you can reach out to Bob, because he and his colleagues have a lot of expertise. As Bob said, he's already done some training with some of the clubs for the meet and greets, and he would certainly be prepared to sit in on a Zoom meeting. I'm sure you would. Bob, is that correct?
Yeah, I forgot to mention that about the snowball effect. Sure, Westfort started it, and thank you guys for kicking it off, right? But when we found out that Cochrane was successful, shortly after that, Okotoks was successful with, quote, the plan, right? Northmount, my other club, my home club, is now being trained by yours truly. The Chinook Club is now being trained by yours truly. And as of 48 hours ago, the Airdrie Club is being trained by yours truly. So I'm sensing that the word is getting out that this works.
It does. Any other questions or comments? Couple more minutes here. Okay. Sounds good.